Choose the latter, for obvious reasons. An energy blast sent Quinn flying onto his back. Rex, the ringleader of Quinn's bullies, looked down on him.
Still breathing, huh? You should have stayed down.
Quinn got back up. He wanted to fight back, but vampires were hated, considered monsters. He smiled.
Stay down and miss out on your charming personality?
Rex's powers blasted and Quinn was knocked backward. His system chimed.
Warning, low health. Activate battle mode to survive.
Quinn shook his head. He couldn't let on what he was. If anyone even suspected he was a vampire, they'd kill him. Ability users had hunted vampires like Quinn for 1,000 years, and Quinn was surrounded by ability users. But still, his whole body screamed at him to strike back. One bite, one taste of their blood, and he'd be stronger than all of them combined. Rex smiled as Quinn writhed in pain.
No comeback this time, huh?
Quinn forced a smile.
Didn't know you needed my permission to hit like a toddler.
Rex's smile faded, and he kicked Quinn in the gut again. Quinn's system warned him again.
Health points are 1 out of 100. Drink blood now or die.
Quinn clenched his fists, humiliated. He could end this in a second, but he didn't fight back.
Pathetic. If you had any dignity, you'd get out of the academy, loser.
One of the other bullies called out.
Finish him off!
Rex stepped up, raising his fist one last time until...
Wait!
Rex turned, surprised that one of his lackeys was telling him to stop. But then he realized everyone had gone silent. Everything had gone silent. Rex's arm was frozen.
What the hell?
It's the Ice Queen.
One of the students said. Another one covered their mouth.
She's the strongest in the academy.
The crowd took a step back, and a gorgeous blonde student cut through the crowd, her footsteps echoing. Erin snapped her fingers, and the ice shattered.
Leave him alone.
Rex looked at Erin, then back down at Quinn.
Stay out of it.
Erin raised an eyebrow.
I wasn't asking.
Rex and the others held still for a moment. Then Rex broke out into a grin.
Come on, guys, this loser isn't worth the time anyway.
Quinn stared, gobsmacked. Erin was so strong that this whole group of students were shaking in their boots. She stopped in front of him.
You better get up or you'll be late.
She didn't offer him a hand. Quinn stumbled to his feet.
What's the big deal? It's just weapon training.
Erin shook her head.
It's not weapon training, it's weapon selection. And it's the most important day of your life. Come on.
She started walking, her footsteps echoing in the still, silent courtyard. Quinn didn't follow her. She turned back to him.
Come on.
He jogged to catch up. Quinn came eerily close to revealing his vampiric abilities. Will he be able to keep his secret? And just what is weapon selection? Everyone had talked about weapon selection, but he didn't realize what it was until he entered the ceremony in the armory. Rows of weapons lined the walls, some ancient claymores, some ultra-modern laser rifles.
Whoa, this place is incredible.
Erin nodded.
And now, we get chosen.
Quinn looked at her, confused.
You mean we choose a weapon?
No, we get...
Before she could finish, a voice erupted from the center of the armory.
Students, this is no ordinary day.
The speaker was a 7-foot-tall, broad-shouldered, rugged man in a military attire.
I once stood in your very shoes, and for me, this was the first day of the rest of my life.
The students murmured to one another.
Now that's Master Leo.
No way, Master Leo?
Quinn studied the man, curious why everyone was so interested in him.
He's a legend.
Master Leo clapped his hands.
Now, you may pick up a sword and think it's right for you, but if you don't know it's right for you, then it's wrong. Now, pick your weapon.
Quinn looked at Erin.
We do get to pick.
Erin grinned at him.
You'll see.
What does that mean?
That's all from me. I'm gonna change into my fighting gear now.
Students were swinging blades, putting ammo into rifles, and surveyed the rows of weaponry, eyes finally landing on a sleek, curved blade.
Let's see if you're the one.
He grabbed the sword, lifting the blade until the blade shattered in his grip. Other students looked over at him, gasping. Quinn took a step back, embarrassed.
Okay, definitely not for me.
Ha! If it breaks, it was never yours to begin with.
Quinn zeroed in on his next target, a spiked flail. He lifted it, and it felt shockingly light in his hands. Maybe this was his weapon. It should have weighed 1,000 pounds, but in his grip it felt effortless. Only he realized that the flail was floating toward the ceiling. It was weightless in his hands.
Not that one either.
And then he saw them. A pair of black gauntlets, wicked and jagged like dragon claws. Something deep inside of him stirred. The moment his fingers touched them, the world shifted. A chill ran down his spine. His system flickered to life.
Bloodbound gauntlets acquired. Strength, +5, defense, +2, awakened beast weapon. Compatibility 100%.
Quinn didn't feel like he was handling some foreign weapon. He felt like he had found another piece of him, a piece that had been waiting for him. This wasn't just a weapon, this was his. As Quinn stared at the gauntlets with awe, Master Leo appeared over his shoulder.
You've got an interesting eye, kid. You think those are for you?
Quinn turned to see Leo's eyes flicking between Quinn and the gauntlets.
Not many people choose gauntlets as their first weapon.
Quinn frowned.
Why not?
Fighting up close requires no fear, no hesitation, but they're tough, relentless really. You have to match them, or they'll tear you apart.
Master Leo's eyes narrowed.
But more than that, these gauntlets in particular are special.
Quinn stiffened. Master Leo leaned in, inspecting the gauntlets at close range.
The former owner wasn't exactly human.
Quinn stared at the gauntlets for a time,
If he wasn't human, what was...
but Master Leo was already gone. Quinn hesitated, then reached out. The moment he touched the gauntlets, something clicked. A pulse ran through him. The gauntlets adjusted, molding to his body. His screen flickered.
Bloodbound gauntlets equipped. Perfect match detected. Plus 12 strength. Plus 12 agility. Plus 10 stamina. Plus 10 defense.
Whoa!
Quinn flexed his fingers. The metal moved with him, light as air but strong as stone. It was a perfect fit, like it had always been meant for him. Across the room, Quinn didn't notice that Master Leo was watching him intently. Does Master Leo suspect Quinn isn't what he seems? Just who was the original owner of the bloodbound gauntlets? Master Leo's gaze lingered. Then he shouted out.
Enough dawdling. Let's put your weapons to the test.
The students turned towards Master Leo as he strode toward the far end of the armory, where a massive iron door rumbled open. Quinn stepped towards the opening doorway, following the crowd outside of the armory. The ceiling was impossibly high, and glowing runes lined the walls. Master Leo turned to the students.
In this test, you'll wield your chosen weapons, but there's one rule here. No abilities. If you deserve your weapon, you need to earn it on your raw talent alone.
A wave of murmurs swept over the students. Quinn's jaw hung open. No abilities meant no one could overpower him with fireballs or telekinetic blasts, but it also meant he had no excuse to not fight back. He searched through the crowd, looking for Erin. Where was she? Had she found a weapon yet? Master Leo grinned.
The way this works is exactly like you'd expect. Duels. Now, are there any volunteers?
Nobody moved until a giant student stepped forward.
A duel sounds fun.
He didn't look like he belonged in the crowd. He was massive, wielding a battle axe. He seemed like he could crush every other student in his hands. A murmur once again swept through the crowd. Absolutely nobody wanted to face him. The giant grinned.
What? No takers? All of you.
Then Erin stepped forward, sighing. She carried a longsword that looked carved from ice.
This is interesting.
I was hoping for a tougher opponent.
The huge man didn't hesitate. He charged in. When he swung it down, Erin spun her body to the side, avoiding the blow, and at the same time slashed at the back of the man's legs, causing him to stumble. She then placed her blade towards the man's neck, inches away from his throat.
I yield! I yield!
The man said desperately. It all happened so fast, some students didn't even notice it. A girl next to Quinn shook her head.
I knew Erin was strong, but didn't realize she was that strong.
That was excellent. We clearly have some talented students here. But for our next fight, let's see someone a little less experienced have a crack.
The students all shifted uncomfortably. No one wanted to be thrown into the arena after watching Erin dismantle her opponent in seconds. Leo gazed through the crowd, calculating, searching, and then his eyes landed on Quinn.
You.
Quinn froze. The crowd turned. Quinn pointed at himself.
Me?
Yeah, you. The one staring at the floor who looks like he'd rather be anywhere else.
A wave of chuckles rippled through the students.
Maybe someone else should go first. Warm up the crowd a little bit.
Master Leo walked toward him and clapped him on the back.
Nonsense. You just got yourself a brand new set of gauntlets, didn't you? Gauntlets that are very special.
Quinn swallowed. He could feel the weight of the gauntlets on his hands.
And what better way to test them than in front of all your friends?
The crowd laughed again, some with a mocking amusement. Quinn opened his mouth, desperate to get out of this. But then he heard a familiar voice.
Perfect, I'll volunteer to face him.
It wasn't Quinn's bully Rex, but it was the next worst thing. His best friend Loop, a level 3 that picked on Quinn just as relentlessly. The tension in the air thickened. Everyone had gone silent.
Beautiful. A willing volunteer. That makes things easy, doesn't it?
The The crowd began to fold around them, leaving Loop and Quinn standing alone in the center. Everyone expected him to lose. His HP was still low, and he was going to have to fight with nothing but his fists. This was going to suck. Is Master Leo testing Quinn? Will Quinn stand a chance against the bully Loop? Quinn took a deep breath, studying Loop, who held a large spear. He looked out at the crowd and made eye contact with Erin. She smiled at him. He could swear he saw her mouth.
This is gonna be good.
Quinn looked at his system.
Opponent power level 3. Bonus experience will be rewarded.
Quinn cursed under his breath, staring at Master Leo, then at Erin, then at Loop. Master Leo's smile was gone. He was dead serious, staring intently at Quinn. It was creeping him out.
Begin.
Loop charged forward, spear aimed at Quinn's chest. Quinn tensed up, his mind cautioning him, "Don't be too fast, don't be too strong, don't stand out, don't let them know what you are." He sidestepped a second too late and felt the point of the spear graze his ribs. Pain flared, and the crowd gasped. Loop smiled wide.
This is even more fun without powers.
Quinn exhaled sharply. He could dodge all day, but he'd need to fight back, or this guy would kill him. But how?
Inspect.
Quinn whispered under his breath. His system screen flickered.
Loop Erickson. Ability. Psychic energy. Health points 5 out of 15. Blood type. O positive.
He dodged another stab from Loop. Then he heard Erin's voice call out.
Get in close.
She was helping him, and she was right. If he got in close, he'd be able to use the gauntlets. But if he stayed at a distance, he smiled. Quinn ducked his shoulder, moving like he was going to charge in close. But as soon as Loop reacted, he leapt back, dodging Loop's spear thrust and catching the spear. Loop's grin vanished.
What the hell?
Loop pulled at the weapon, trying to yank it free, but Quinn held firm. He was stronger than Weapon, even without the gauntlets. He was too strong, too fast. Quinn smiled, but then his eyes landed on Master Leo, watching him intently. Something had changed in the old man, and Quinn felt a cold sweat of nervousness. Quinn needed to finish things. With a single clawed punch, he cracked the spear in half. The crowd gasped again. Loop stumbled backward, stunned.
What the hell? My weapon? It's clearly faulty.
Leo didn't say anything. He continued watching, studying Quinn intently. Quinn leapt forward. Loop had no time to react before Quinn's fist slammed into his gut. Quinn followed up with a knee to the chin. Blood sprayed. Loop slumped to the ground, out cold, but still breathing. Quinn turned and faced the stunned, silent crowd. Master Leo stepped up.
Winner, Quinn Talon.
Quinn has defeated Loop, but did he hold back enough, or has Master Leo already seen through him? Will Rex avenge his defeated friend? Quinn's system chimed in his mind.
Opponent has been defeated. 50 experience points rewarded. First time higher power level bonus. Another 50 experience points rewarded. 220 out of 200 experience points. Congratulations, you are now level 2.
Quinn had leveled up for the first time, and he slowly looked down at his body. Weird. His wounds were healing. Was that because he had leveled up?
Level up override. Health restored to maximum.
Quinn wanted to get out of the limelight and fast. As he walked away, someone shouted out.
That's not fair. Loop obviously was using a faulty weapon.
Murmurs rippled over the crowd. Quinn felt everyone watching him.
Yeah, and what was with that anyway? That idiot decided to still attack him anyway after seeing his weapon break. He should be punished.
Rex stepped forward.
There's no way he won fairly. He's a cheater. He sabotaged Loop's weapon.
Master Leo casually picked up the broken spear.
I can guarantee you that all the weapons in this hall are perfectly maintained. Each is given as much care as the next.
Then how do you explain Loop's weapon breaking? He cheated. He used an ability.
More students murmured. Another student stepped forward.
He's right. No way some random kid with no ability just beat Loop.
He's hiding something.
The voices grew louder. Students stared at Quinn with suspicion. Master Leo shook his head.
Enough. I can guarantee no abilities were used.
Rex took a step toward him.
How can you be so sure?
Before Leo could respond, Erin stepped forward.
Don't you know who that is? Are you seriously questioning him?
Rex suddenly seemed self-conscious.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean...
Before Rex could finish his sentence, Leo flicked his wrist. Rex flinched, and a thin red line appeared on his cheek as the broken spear embedded itself in the wall. The crowd had gone silent. Master Leo studied Quinn intently.
I told you, I'd know if the boy used an ability, but...
Master Leo stopped, gaze fixed on Quinn.
There's still something to you, isn't there?
Quinn felt his heartbeat race. Leo didn't say anything more. He didn't have to. Even if Leo didn't know, he at least suspected, and that was bad enough. Rex knelt next to Loop and helped him back to his feet. Loop stared at Quinn, rage bubbling. His voice came out as a growl.
What the hell?
The crowd once again buzzed to life. Loop's bloodshot eyes stared at Quinn, landing on his ribs, where a wound was supposed to be. He was fully healed. How was that possible? Loop pointed a shaking finger.
Look at him. Look at this freak. He's healed. He's not normal.
Whispers returned, now harsher.
Wait, he's right. He was injured before. How did he heal so fast?
What is that, loser?
Freak!
Quinn bounced on his heels, once again jittery and nervous, but Loop didn't wait. A blast of lightning formed in his palm, crackling with power. He lunged at Quinn.
Die, you freak!
Quinn wasn't prepared. He had no time to react. It was going to hit. His shadow blurred, and in an instant, Master Leo stood between them, holding Loop by the wrist. Loop didn't have time to react before Leo struck. Loop flew backward, skidding across the arena floor. Everyone was silent as Leo stepped toward him, boots echoing in the dead, quiet hall. He towered over Loop.
You will go directly to the headmaster, you arrogant little...
The words hung in the air, thick with finality. Then he turned to the other students, his smile gone.
Insolence. All of you disgrace this academy with your lack of discipline.
The students shrank under his gaze.
You are disappointments. Every last one of you except...
His gaze flickered, first to Aaron and then to Quinn. Leo held his stare, then turned away.
Get out. We will take this up tomorrow.
No one argued. Everyone grabbed their things and ran from the arena. As Quinn left with the rest of the students, he could hear the whispers, could see how people were looking at him. Before today, they thought he was a nobody, but now, they weren't so sure. Had he done too much? Had they seen too much? And worst of all, had Leo? Quinn moved quickly through the academy halls, head down, pulse racing. He needed to get away from the students, from any prying eyes. He needed to see what leveling up had earned him. He slipped down a quiet corridor and ducked into an empty classroom. Breathe. His system interface flickered in front of him.
Level up achieved. New abilities unlocked.
Quinn was intrigued. A new ability? But then the door opened.
Impressive performance for someone supposedly powerless.
It was Erin. She stood in the doorway, arms crossed, unreadable expression.
Well, are you going to say anything?
It had all been too much today. Too much suspicion, too many voices. He was exhausted.
I can explain.
Erin tilted her head.
You don't need to.
She stepped closer, her eyes locking onto his.
I'm an original. I was born with my powers. I didn't get them from some ability book.
Erin nodded at him as though she were really seeing him.
I can sense other originals.
Quinn almost laughed, relief flooding over him. She was wrong. She thought he was like her, but he was a vampire, the thing that ability users like originals had spent centuries hunting down and killing. He swallowed hard. He'd need to play this carefully. Erin took another step toward him, voice soft.
You can't tell anyone?
Quinn nodded.
I won't.
Erin hesitated, then lifted a hand, reaching out to touch his, but pulled back at the last second.
You need to be careful, Quinn. Some people despise originals.
Quinn wanted so badly to have someone to confide in, to say, I'm not an original, I'm something worse. But instead, he nodded.
I know.
Be careful, Quinn.
And then, she left Quinn alone in the classroom. She thought she had him figured out. But what would she say if she knew what he really was? How long could he keep up this lie? And worse, what would happen if she realized the truth? Quinn and Erin stepped out of the empty classroom into the hallway. If his real secret was safe, maybe things would remain normal. Quinn realized something was wrong. Rex and Loop stepped into their path. Rex grinned.
Well, 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 if it isn't our favorite punching bag.
Loop was beaten and swollen. He cracked his knuckles.
You made a mistake, freak.
Quinn clenched his fists. Every instinct screamed at him to use his power to put them in his place, but Erin reached for his arm, calming him down. Rex stepped closer.
You're worthless, Quinn. You had your moment, but you'll always be nothing. So why don't we take down your little girlfriend instead?
Erin tensed next to Quinn.
You won't touch her.
Quinn tried to take a step forward but was frozen in place. Electricity was wrapped around his legs. Loop was channeling a stasis spell. Rex smiled.
It's perfect. We'll make you watch.
Quinn was pinned down.
Erin, get out of here!
Erin took a tentative step back, just before a blast of energy slammed her into the lockers.
Erin!
Loop and Rex both launched spells at her. She threw up a shield of ice, but it was in danger of breaking. Quinn needed to do something, and fast. But breaking out of this hold would require him to reveal his powers.
It's not going to hold much longer,
Rex said, cackling with glee. Erin's shield spell was breaking. Any second now. Loop blasted her with electricity.
Keep going.
Erin shook as the spells rocked off her shield. She squeezed her eyes shut, desperately trying to hang on, but then suddenly the spells stopped. Erin opened her eyes and stared with shock. Quinn was standing in front of her, holding back the energy from both spells. His eyes were red, his hair was wild, and the spells bounced off of him like nothing. He cracked his neck. His system chimed.
Full vampiric powers activated.
His secret had been revealed. The gloves had finally come off. His full power was on display, and not just to Aaron, but to Rex and Loop. Quinn grinned.
Now you've really done it.
Quinn's secret has finally been revealed. Will he use his powers to make his bullies pay? What special powers will he unlock? How will Aaron react to knowing he's a vampire?
To know more, download the Pocket FM app and listen to the blockbuster audio series My Vampire System.